All right, guys. So I'm going to just go over some review of some basic model shape. We call this dirty modeling in the industry. So again, dirty modeling in the animation industry, guys, means that you're just shoving shapes together to create something. So instead of like extruding and pulling verts and edges, you're just shoving spheres and squares and cubes together to make something. So again, if you're trying to make an animatronic for your ride, and you're like, oh, I need to make a stuffed animal looking like teddy bear, like you guys are trying to make something from like Five Nights at Freddy or something like that. You guys can shove spheres and cubes and cylinders together to make those shapes. So I'm just going to do some review on that. I know you guys already did this as a project for your stuffed animal at the very beginning of this class, and you also probably did it in your 3D animation intro class. But again, I'm going to go ahead and start off with a sphere. I'm just going to show you some basics of how to do this. So again, you can press W, you can move it up. You can hold Shift, guys, and pull it up, and you can use your scale tool, which is R, to start using, stacking shapes together. So again, if I'm going to make like a stuffed animal, like animatronic bear, again, I can duplicate this and start shrinking it. Maya know I'm talking. So again, we're recording this so you guys have it for other classes. So again, I can make a really quick stuffed animal animatronic by just using the same shape over and over again. So again, if I'm just trying to make like a really nasty, bear that's going to be on my ride, like let's say I'm working in the haunted area, I could have like a scary zombie one. I could do it where I'm putting it in like the water park ride. You can make it a polar bear. You can make like a yeti. So there's so many different things you guys can do. If you guys want like a more of an animal nose, one of the tricks is taking a cone and flipping it upside down and then actually smoothing it. So if you smooth it, it makes it kind of look like a heart. So that's one technique you guys have that you guys can make some really cool shapes and stuff. Again, the other thing is when you're making, remember you got the text tool now, and you guys learned that you guys can type in emojis. So again, if you're trying to make like an animal with like some kind of like logo on it that's like, let's say like a heart, you guys could do a heart logo. You would just type in heart emoji. You could use that link I gave you, or you can just type it on Google and find one and copy and paste it. So I'm going to copy and paste a heart emoji in here. Now I have a heart that I can use. You can use that for your character's shape of body. But again, this is what's called dirty modeling. You're just shoving shapes together to make your model. And this is totally fine for this project when you guys are making, animatronics. You guys could make a little heart person, right? So you could take this shape and instead of making it, an accessory, you can make eyeballs and the mouth and stuff on the heart. So you guys could go through some different emojis and try to use them as starting points for models. And again, you can make a nice little heart animatronic creature thing. But again, they call this dirty modeling because you're not doing like the vertice edges and all those things. You're just doing shape combine and rescaling and smushing together. And that's totally fine. Like I said, on this project, you guys are just trying to put together a story anyway for your guys' theme park area. So it does not have to make sense. And it doesn't have to be, purely industry quality. It could be that you're just trying to get that reference out there to show like, hey, on this ride, I'd have an animatronic heart creature that's going to attack people. Or the ride that we're riding on it's a heart-shaped ride that it's a water ride. So again, this is how you guys can make some animatronics for your ride. Is just putting shapes together and trying to build a character. And again, you could use a cone to get that nose. You could use your text editor to make some emojis. And again, it's all about just finding what shapes create the character you want to make. You could try to make a pumpkin character. You could try to make a tomato character. You guys could try to make stuffed animal monsters. There's so many different things you guys can do for using your creativity for this. People use this to make caterpillars and bugs and ants, spiders. So there's so many different things you guys could do modeling these characters for your animatronics for your ride. And again, this is just your basic called dirty modeling technique. Now, if you want to do advanced modeling, that's where you guys would want to find reference or draw reference, where you guys have a turnaround from a front view and a side view, so you guys can bring that image into Maya and try to shape the vertices and the edges to match it. So we're going to put some tutorials up for that in here too, so you guys can watch those. But again, if you're going to try to make an advanced model, one way you guys can start off with that is you want to use a cube. So I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to make a human real fast using a cube. So this is how I would do it if you guys are trying to make a more humanoid animatronic. And this is still kind of dirty, not dirty modeling, but it's fast modeling. It's not really using reference. It's just kind of using my imagination. But again, I'm using insert edge loop, and I'm going to go ahead and cut where I'm going to put arms. So I'm going to have arms come there. I'm going to go ahead and cut down where I'm going to have legs. So I'm going to have legs come out of here. I'm going to have arms come out of here, and I have his neck coming out of here. So you guys are going to see, I'm going to go ahead and switch out of that tool. I'm going to go to face mode. And I'm actually going to extrude his hips. Harley. So then I'm going to go ahead and extrude down the legs. So I have knees. I'm going to extrude one more time for his feet. Then I'm going to extrude this way for his feet. Again, I'm going to extrude out his arms. I'll just do his forearm, or to his elbow, and then to his wrist, and then his hand. So again, same thing. You want to his elbow, to his wrist, to his hand. Now again, when you're doing the neck, that's going to be a little bit different. You're going to want to extrude inward first, just so you can get that geometry, because otherwise it's not going to work. Then up for his head. And this is what I usually do for heads, guys. You can either take another piece and shove it in there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it outward. So holding shift and extrude outward, and then upward. So you guys look at that, and you're like, well, that's not a human. That's like a weird Roblox character. Well, yeah. So if you press 3, though, it smooths it. So now you start getting a little more organic. And then, again, I can move his head and start shaping his head to the shape I want. I could do his whole body since it kind of made him really chunky there. Again, I can shrink him this way. So you guys can see that you got your body, your humanoid, and then you can use face mode to kind of move those around, so you guys can rotate the arms to get them to move it. So again, that's how you guys can get a humanoid animatronic character in there, and you can add more details.